guys, AC here. Hope you're doing well and welcome to another review. You know what, fellas? I've got a fragrance which is discontinued, but it's such a good fragrance that it makes me think, what are the reasons behind discontinuing a particular fragrance? This fragrance belongs to the Dior's La Collection Privé line, and I've smelled almost all the fragrances in that line. I believe there are 23 or 22 fragrances, current lineup, and the name has changed as well, which I'll cover in a later video. This one though is a rather modestly named fragrance. I've got a couple of decants of this fragrance, they're all 5 ml, and this one is called Eau Noire. I mean, really modest name for a fragrance which is absolutely fantastic. Alright, so let me take you through the journey. And it's a discontinued fragrance, and I'll discuss why I think it's been discontinued. So, this was, I believe, released in 2004, and the parfumeur for this one is Maison Francis Kurkdjian. The same Maison Francis Kurkdjian who created La Malle. And if you remember, my last review was 1725 by Histoire des Parfums. And the three key players in that fragrance was almond, vanilla, and lavender. In this fragrance, two players are lavender and vanilla, the signature that made Maison Francis Kurkdjian, the world famous combination, lavender and vanilla. So this fragrance not only has lavender and vanilla, it also introduces some amazing notes, right? So the other bits that this fragrance introduces are thyme, the herb. Along with thyme, there's a beautiful coffee note, and along with coffee, there's a beautiful leather note, and there's licorice, which is another note which is present in 1725. So I think licorice, lavender, vanilla is a magical combination, along with other stuff. So how does this fragrance start off? This fragrance actually doesn't change a lot when it's first applied to about 3 or 4 hours. So I've got about 15-20 minutes dry down here. And this fragrance is just amazing. It's basically a spicy oriental, if you like, instead of being a fougere. But it also borrows from fougere and gourmand territory. So I'll take you through that journey. So the top of the fragrance has got a mixture of licorice and thyme. Along with that, there's lavender, but you hardly smell it, but you feel it. You know, lavender has this herbal, aromatic brightness about it. This fragrance is dark. This fragrance should have been called Noir de Noir. This fragrance is mysterious and dark, right? So it starts off smelling beautiful, spicy, aromatic, and fougere-like because of lavender. Okay, so it starts off with a very surprising aspect. You feel as if you're smelling some overdose of pepper, but it's not pepper. It's basically thyme, which has this peppery green, slightly dusty accord, and it also has a leathery touch to it. This is how the fragrance starts off. It's a very spicy, slightly sweet, very dry, and very aromatic fragrance, right? And then suddenly you get this beautiful rounded vanilla along with leather, and it just transforms the fragrance into a very brash, spicy fragrance to a very nice, spicy, aromatic fragrance, which is very attractive, extremely attractive. The fragrance that comes to mind is L'Instant de Guerlain Eau Extrême. Yeah, it's that kind of genre, if you like. Very attractive fragrance, but very spicy. When you hit the middle of the fragrance, there is another introduction. Beautiful note of coffee. You will start to smell that coffee note after about half an hour, 45 minutes, right? And that coffee note, what it does, it transforms the fragrance into something extremely attractive with a huge amount of X factor. The fragrance is still dark. The fragrance is still dry. It's aromatic, it's oriental, but it introduces this gourmand, excuse me, gourmand facet with vanilla and coffee. And then leather joins the party. And the leather is like a suede, creamy, very delicate leather. There's no animalic element in this leather. It is fantastic fragrance, guys. This is the dry down. This dry down is more than 10 hours. I can barely smell it. But this has got a lemony, lavender, vanilla, and slight leathery dry down. Very, very soft. But it's thin layer, but it's very attractive. The best thing about this fragrance is the huge X factor. This thing has got so much sex appeal, so much mystery around it, that people will definitely give you sort of a look when you pass by them. Another reason is this thing is a serious performer. Yeah, so people will smell you. If you went heavy, you will fill up the whole room, just like Lidge, but this doesn't smell like Lidge. It's in the same kind of genre, if you like. Spicy, aromatic, very attractive, very sexy fragrance. So, pros and cons. Number one pro, guys, is this fragrance, the entire La Collection Privé smells very different, and it's the most sexiest in that line, I think. Sexiest fragrance, I would say. Sexier than Fave Delicious. Yeah, sexier than that. It's amazing. This thing is really sexy. Wow, that's number one pro. This is the one which stands out in the entire La Collection Privé line. Number two pro, is solid performance. This thing has tremendous longevity. I'm talking about 12 hours plus. Great projection and great sillage. Very, very strong fragrance. If you go more than 2 sprays, you will really, really asphyxiate yourself. That's how strong this is. This is heavy. Yeah. And number 3, I think this fragrance has got huge amounts of sex appeal. X factor is amazing. People really will be very curious as to what you're wearing. The combination of notes and the blending makes it so stand out so much that this is a highly creative, very attractive fragrance. Those are 3 pros. Downside, spicy fragrances, they really put off people, because spicy fragrances have a direct relationship to your skin chemistry, and sometimes it really, really drives people nuts because it comes off really different. In fact, it might even stink. That's why you will see on fragrance forums, a lot of people stay away from cumin, thyme, sage. Those are the notes that really upset them because it really reacts badly with their skin chemistry. I'm very lucky. I have no problems with spicy fragrances. So I think the downside is that if you do not like spicy fragrances, you ought to test this one. This is discontinued anyways, and this is for the connoisseur. But test it out, because that spicy bit, some people on fragrance forums say that this spicy bit smells like curry, right? It's the combination of, I think, thyme, licorice, and lavender, which is giving them that curry note. I don't see it as a curry note. I see it as a huge blast of dry black pepper. But that's only when I initially apply it. That's the downside. Second downside, I would say, is the lack of versatility. I will really have to think hard where I wear this, right? I could not wear this to work. I could not wear this dressed down. I'd probably wear this evening time, slightly dressed up, because this is extremely sexy, so slightly dressed up, and probably romantic dates, clubbing. I would wear this clubbing. This has got X factor, so limited use, if you like, lack of versatility. The third downside could be the huge price point. Anything from La Collection Privé is over £250, and they only sell big bottles. I believe it's 125 ml. So it's almost £2 an ml. What you're getting though, you can justify. It's highly creative, it smells expensive, it is very well blended and very high quality. But still, because of limited use, you can argue that the value for money is a bit low. Shame this is discontinued, guys. I really feel for this fragrance. This is amazing. Now, coming back to what age groups and whether. This thing is a mature fragrance. You know, when I thought about this fragrance, the first face that came into mind was a French actor whose name I can't remember, but I'll put it on in the video. He acted in Ronin. His face was the face I saw. You know, this guy looks amazing. His eyes are very penetrating. He has got this X factor, mystery about himself. Yeah, very stylish, but slightly grown-up scent. That's what I think. His name starts with Jean, but I can't remember his full name. Amazing actor. So age group, I would say this is mature scent. Yeah, I would say this is 30 plus. In terms of occasion, this is a cold weather evening scent, I think. Lack of versatility. I will struggle wearing this to work because this thing is a powerhouse performer. It'll get a lot of people complaining, especially if you're sitting in an air-conditioned office. Yeah, because if you don't watch your sprays, you will stink up the whole room. Be very, very sure of that. 2 to 3 sprays is enough. If you're going clubbing, maybe you can go heavy if you want to really get the attention. But if you go more than 5, I think you'll struggle yourself. So, compliment factor. Yeah, these sort of fragrances really get you noticed. Whether you get a compliment or not depends on who smells you. Yeah, just as I said, spicy fragrances can divide opinion. I'll give you an analogy. A few weeks ago, I was at a wedding, and it was a summer wedding, and that day the temperature was around 30 degrees. So everybody was lightly dressed. I was thinking, what do I wear? What do I wear? Finally, I settled for, I think it was green Irish tweed, and I went 4 to 5 sprays. And I was set. In the wedding, from the groom's side, there was this guy who actually was wearing lich. And when I smelt it coming from him on a hot day, yeah, it smelled amazing. It smelled fantastic. You see what I mean? Spicy fragrances, when somebody smells it, if they really like spice, yeah, they will really love it on you. So compliment factor depends who smells. But if that person smelling you likes spices, be rest assured that you will get serious compliments because this smells so good. I mean, what's wrong with this fragrance? Leather, yeah, vanilla, lavender, very light lavender. You won't smell this. It's a winning combination with coffee, yeah, with licorice. It's a stunning combination. So I can see that this is one of those fragrances which is a hit or miss with the opposite sex. But if they really like spicy stuff, they'll compliment you. And the mystery around this fragrance is what will draw them closer. So all in all, considering that this is a discontinued fragrance, 8 out of 10, a solid 8 out of 10. One of the best from the line, and stands aside from the crowd. Hope you enjoyed the review, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.